and we'll let you know when we're on the air. Okay, the meeting is yours, Mr. Chair. Let me know if you need anything from me.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Welcome to the Lyon Township Planning Commission meeting for Monday, December 14th, 2020, our last meeting of the year. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
it
it
stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, very good. Kelly?
Hi
I
there.
haven't heard from Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Can you take roll? And if everyone would remember to say that you're in Lyon Township or your location.
All right, Patricia Carconi.
Here, and I'm in Lyon Township.
And if we could just say, just for the record, name the state as well, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Oh, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Jim Chuck.
Here, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Michael Conflitti.
Present, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Bronco Mitkowski.
Present, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Ron Pennington.
I'm here, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Kurt Radke.
Present, Lyon Township, Michigan.
Carl Town.
Present, Lyon Township, Michigan.
All right, very good. We do have one change tonight, but approval of agenda.
I'd make a motion to remove item number 5 under new business at the applicant's request.
I'll support that motion.
Lisa, we don't have to do roll, do we?
No, you don't.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
I oppose. Okay. Approval of consent agenda, November 23rd, 2020 minutes.
Make a motion to approve if there's no objections.
I'll support that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? All right. Comments from the public, anything that's not on the agenda tonight. Brian, do we have anyone waiting to speak that's not part of the public hearing?
No callers at the moment.
Okay. All right. I'm wondering, Tina, she wasn't at our second meeting last month. Is Tina here? No. All right. Brian, AP 20-41 Woodside Overlay District. Start us off.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Woodside Overlay District introduction, as we discussed, I think in November, maybe it was October, regarding the potential modifications that staff are recommending for the Woodside neighborhood. If you recall, the subdivision is just off of Pontiac Trail in the southwest portion of the township. Currently, it's zoned RO3, but what we have found based on some recent applications for accessory structures and primary residences is that our existing RO3 district regulations do not apply or do not fit well within the development of this neighborhood. And so we're proposing modifications that would apply only to the Woodside Acres overlay district. We've defined that as part of your packet, and there are a few things that we are proposing to modify within this overlay district. And just so you're aware, the use standards will not change. Any of the other pieces of the ordinance that we're not highlighting here will not change. We'll still treat this as a single-family residential district that has, it's our smallest lots for single-family homes in Lyon Township. So we're proposing to change the items in our memo dated October 23rd. That would be the minimum lot size down to 9,800 square feet, minimum lot width of 70 feet, side yard setbacks of 10 feet, a minimum distance between primary structures of 15 feet. And we are specifically calling out that corner lots in the overlay only have one front yard rather than two that we treat everywhere else. Aside from those standards, I have nothing to add. I don't have notes from our previous discussion about things to change, but this evening is the public hearing. So when you're ready, you could take public comments. But other than that, staff, I'm ready to take any questions that staff might have, or that the Planning Commission might have.
Okay. Brian, can you put the map up?
Sure thing.
Anyone have questions for Brian? No questions. Okay, thank you. There's no applicant, correct?
There is no applicant, and you also may have read Catherine's letter. When we talked about this at the Planning Commission last time, we were hoping that we would get some feedback, either positive or negative, from residents. We talked between the township attorney and the administrative team about how we would go about noticing for the specific overlay, and we decided it was not a requirement based on the State Zoning Enabling Act, and so we did not provide specific notice to the 100+ residents in this district. The public hearing was noticed as we would within any other zoning amendment. It just goes in the paper. No specific notices were sent out.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Rick Minor, did you have anything to add?
No, sir, I don't.
No, nothing. Okay. Lisa?
And nothing to add other than that the notice that went out was compliant with the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act and was posted on the township's website, as well as the documents in the documents on demand.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. We will open up the public hearing for the Woodside Overlay District. Brian, is there anyone waiting?
No callers at the moment.
All right. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. We will close the public hearing. Back to the commission. Carl, would you like to start? Do you have anything to add?
Well, I'll start off by saying I'm disappointed that nobody's at the public hearing. I was looking forward to hearing from one of the 104 property owners, at least one. And, to be here to have Brian answer their questions. So I'm going to not say anything right now. I'll just pass it along. And
okay.
if I need to say something on the end, I'd be glad to, but.
Okay.
Again.
All right. All right. Thanks, Carl. We didn't get any letters either then, huh, Brian? No letters?
No, none that I saw.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Radke, anything to add? All right.
Kurt, you're on mute.
Kurt?
Sorry. No, I'm
All right.
fine. I'm okay.
Good. Okay.
Ready to move
All
forward.
right. Ron Pennington.
No, I'm good too. I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to hear from some of the residents, but I think it's all right.
All right. Bronco. Thank you, Ron.
Nothing to add. Again, disappointment. This is helping those residents. And me being newer to the township, I remember coming to all the meetings just to be, when township was trying to help me. So, but you can't really change what people want to do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Chuck?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing.
Patricia?
No, I don't have anything either, but I think it's just probably, it's really close to Christmas. Probably people aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
I don't think they're not grateful or the few lots that are left in there. It's busy. I mean, even, I wish I didn't have the meeting tonight just because I have so much to do. So I bet you that's all it is, but I think it's a good thing. And I'm glad Brian brought it to us. So
Okay.
it's the right thing to do, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you. Carl, do you have anything to add?
I'm going to go back to my notes if you just give me a minute here. I think I'd like to hear from Brian. Like Patty was talking about, there's a couple lots left there. Could you talk to me about how many lots are left and what this overlay will do? Would it privilege the property owners that need to sell this property to build a new home? Would it privilege them over the 104 that already exist?
I don't believe that it would privilege any new applicants. There are, by my count, there were 3 or 4 vacant lots remaining. I'm sorry, I don't remember specifically, but there are some opportunities also for where people have reconfigured lot lines in the past, and which it's pretty apparent just looking from the aerial that those lot lines were configured so that they could fit a more modern house on. But in terms of the remaining lots and redeveloping any of the existing lots, these new standards, I feel, will bring us much closer to what was actually built so far. We've seen several variances relating to these side yard setbacks. There's a lot of instances in here where the existing houses don't comply with our current setbacks. So if anything, we're bringing to light a bit more of a fair situation.
Okay, no, I totally agree on the setbacks and things of that nature, because I know even sitting on the ZBA, there was a lot of incidents that came in for those property owners over there. But I was just really curious about the lots that were left over. If indeed it changes the lot, the structure of that lot, for example, if I own one of the lots that I can build on now, but my neighbor, has that lot vacant for such a long time because of the restrictions on it, the minute we open up the restrictions, how they would take that. But again, this is a public hearing, and I still, I would have liked to have heard from that property owner, and we didn't. So under your leadership, I've been over everything, and I'd be willing to move forward with your recommendations tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Carl. That sounds like the beginning of a motion.
I would you entertain a motion?
Please.
I would make a motion to approve to the board, send this over to the board, the Woodside AP-20-41, the Woodside Overlay District. We had our public hearing tonight, and we've talked about the lot size and the distance between home and the front yard settings. It's very difficult over in that section to find out what the frontage is on a lot of those properties. So I think this will really help going forward. So that would be my motion to the board.
Okay, very good.
Support.
Should we add the, based on the McKenna letter dated October 23rd, comments from CES and our attorney tonight also?
Well, and we can add certainly in the McKenna letter from October 23rd, because it spells everything out.
Okay.
Support.
Now, who is that, Mr. Chuck? Who?
Mr.
Well,
Radke.
that was me initially, but Mr. Radke can have the support. That's fine.
If you want it, Jim, I'll be happy to give
No,
it.
you can have it, Kurt.
All right. Okay. We have a motion by Mr. Towns, support by Mr. Radke. Any other comments? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oppose? All right. Very good. Thanks, Carl, for for putting that one together. AP 20-04, Event Barns, Zoning Ordinance Text Amendment. Brian?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, in your packet, you have a letter from us dated October 23rd. I have not modified our recommendations. This was a topic that we've discussed all summer long and into the fall as well. So we've got a pretty substantial set of upgrades to our existing agricultural tourism regulations. So the couple of things that I do want to focus on this evening are early on in the process, we had talked about including a minimum lot size and a minimum lot width. As we left things off when the public hearing was scheduled, I believe that the Planning Commission was in agreement not to include those standards, but I would like to get that clarification this evening. Everything else relating to the paved road requirements and the Planning Commission's ability to request a traffic study and include event-specific regulations. I think those are all good improvements, and we can apply these moving forward potentially in the near future. So I think they're good changes.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Brian. I'm assuming Mr. Minor doesn't have anything to add.
Yeah, CES has no comments, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, very good. Lisa?
Nothing to add to this, to what Brian said tonight.
Okay, all right. I wonder, out of curiosity, is that couple that we've talked to several times, are they listening in on this, Brian? Do we have anyone? Well, let's do this. We're going to open up the public hearing for AP 20-04 Event Barn Zoning Ordinance Text Amendment. Brian, do we have anybody waiting?
Nope, nobody on the line right now.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Like you were asking the question whether we've been in touch with the folks who are interested. We
right.
have not. Yeah.
Okay.
The Ditweilers, they have not been. They've not provided any feedback as of late, and so I don't know if the change from an accessory, or when they came to us initially, it was going to be simply an event barn.
Right.
But I think based on our discussions, we've really focused this into an accessory use, and I think that change did not necessarily line up with their plans. Not trying to speak for them, but that's my impression.
Sure. Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Thanks, Brian. All right. We will close the public hearing. Thank you. Patricia, did you have anything to add on this?
No, I didn't. I thought it turned out well. I'm
Okay.
happy with it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Mr. Chuck?
Not really. As you indicated, Mr. Chairman, we have talked about this for quite some time, and I think Brian did a nice job. I think the commission did a nice job. So nothing to add.
Okay. All right. Thank you. The only question I have, Brian, number 12, alcohol. Is there, I think I've asked this before, but I don't remember the answer. Is there such a thing as a temporary alcohol or liquor license? Is that, or is it, does this mean they have to be a business that has it all the time?
If they were to get a temporary one, I think it would complete this requirement if they wanted to serve. And maybe Patty can correct me. Patty, does the township board issue temporary licenses for event-specific things? Like when you issue something for Kite Fest the other year had alcohol served, does the board do that?
I think they did bring it to the board. I do believe that, yes, because it has to be properly secured. And I know they apply for it, but I think we do approve it.
I would expect a use like this would have a more permanent type liquor license. That's what I would anticipate.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Good. Very good. Mr. Mikovsky.
And if I
go
may
ahead.
say,
Yeah, Carl.
also, I agree with Lisa completely, but they can also apply. There are resort licenses available, and if it's seasonal event, if it's seasonal somewhat, they can apply for a resort license. I don't know if I think the state of Michigan statute that Brian stated works good for me, though. I just want to say.
Okay. Very good. Bronco?
Nothing to add. I love the idea.
Okay. All right. Mr. Pennington.
No, I think Brian did a good job. I'm ready to put it to a vote.
All right. Very good. Mr. Radke?
I'm good.
Good. Carl Town. Anything more?
No, I have nothing to add. I think, again, we're not a perfect board either. We're going to send this on to the board we're going to give the blessing, sounds like, but it's not that critical. If has to be tweaked a year or two down the line, then we can do that. But I think Brian's covered everything really well. And I agree with Jim that, we did the best we could do right now. I like it. That doesn't mean, we never planned on COVID either, but, we're a work in progress. So I would support it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. We would entertain a motion.
I can make a motion, but do we ask Mr. Chuck? Did we miss Jim?
Oh,
Did
Well,
we?
you didn't.
No.
You just went by me. That's okay. These are big shoulders.
Sorry, Jim.
No,
Sorry.
I just want to comment, and I'm not sure if it's identical. However, getting back to the alcohol, Leo, which I'm on the board, we had an event where we did serve beer and wine, and our first step was to the township. However, the temporary license was for 1 day, and it had to go through the state. And again, I don't know if it's exactly the same as we've proposed in this amendment, but to Patty's point, there are strict regulations once you bring alcohol into an event. So,
All right. Very good.
That's all I want to just bring that out. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm ready to make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Please do.
I make a motion to approve AP-20-04 Event Barns and move it to our board. Based on the McKenna letter dated October 23rd and no concerns at this meeting from the CES or our attorney.
All right. Very good.
Support.
Who's that?
The motion, Jim Chuck.
James Chuck. Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Motion and support. Any other comments?
Yeah, one item of clarification, if I may.
Sure.
So, Mr. Radke, does your motion include, or does it not include, the site minimum lot size and the minimum lot width?
Your recommendation, if I understood it, was that we're not going to have a minimum lot size and a minimum lot width. So Thank you for correcting that.
No, I appreciate the feedback, and you're right. That is my recommendation. I just want to make sure that I won't include that in my memorandum to the board then when it goes there. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for helping me clarify.
Mr. Chuck, you're still good with that?
I'm absolutely good with that.
Okay. All right. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? All right. Very good. Brian, old business, AP 20-22A, Comfort Care, Senior Housing and Assisted Living Site Plan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Planning Commission last made a recommendation to the Township Board to deny the special land use for Comfort Care Senior Housing and Assisted Living on 10 Mile Road. And last week at the Township Board meeting, the special land use was formally denied by the board. And based on that outcome, we're recommending the Planning Commission deny the site plan that was still sitting on the table from the last meeting. The plans have understandably not been updated, so you've got the same information that was presented before. I don't know that there are any questions that are out in the open at this point in time.
Okay, thanks, Brian. Any questions for Brian?
Would you entertain a motion, Mr. Chair?
I would. We don't. The applicant isn't here by chance, are they? I wouldn't think
If
so.
no one
but-
has any comments, I'm ready to
Okay.
put a motion on the floor.
Ready?
All right.
I'd make a motion to not approve the site plan. We're going to deny it to the board because the special land use was denied, so the site plan should be denied as well. And that would be my motion.
Support.
That'd be, I think I said AP 20-22A. If I didn't, I say it now.
And just to clarify, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just a denial. It doesn't have to go to the board.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, very good. I'm sorry, who seconded that? Was that
Bert Radke.
Mr. Radke? Okay. Any other comments? All those in favor of Carl Town's motion
Aye.
Aye.
to deny, oppose? All right, very good. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah.
AP 20-26 residential district lot width and setback amendments. Brian?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, last week, the Planning Commission or the Township Board considered the Planning Commission's recommendation for the minimum lot width being decreased to 135 feet in the R10 district, along with some of the other modifications that were made. The Township Board agreed with the Planning Commission's recommendations on all fronts. The reason this is back before you this evening is there was a comment from one of the Township Board members recommending that the Planning Commission discuss potentially decreasing the side yard setback as well in the R10 district. Not in a substantial manner, but his recommendation was to look at 25 feet for the side yard setback instead of the 30 feet that we currently require. In support of that, I've gone through some of the same example cases, example communities, 1 acre side yard setbacks for your discussion tonight or your consideration tonight. You'll notice a lot of them are smaller still than than the proposed 25. So I'll leave that. Those are all our comments. I don't have a specific recommendation tonight. I think even whether it's 25 or 30 feet in the side or even down to 20 feet, you still have a pretty substantial distance between primary structures in our 1 acre zoning district. So I can support anything in that range, 20 to 30. If you were to make any changes this evening based on the information that you have, we would simply include it in the board's second reading for the zoning ordinance, which will happen in January.
Okay. Anything else, Brian?
That's all I have for you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Minor, anything to add?
We have nothing to add to this, Mr. Chairman.
All right. You got an easy night tonight. Lisa, anything?
Nothing to add to this.
Okay. All right. Mr. Chuck, let's start with you since you got passed over last time.
Well, I can appreciate Brian's comment there, 25 or 30. I've been on this for a few years now, and it seems like the side setbacks is where most developers come in and ask for that 5 feet. So I would like to see 25 feet. I think it would be better for the developers, and it would be less in terms of asking for variances. And I don't think it will hurt anything. That's just my opinion.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Patricia, any comments?
Yeah, actually, that was Sean's comment, and I totally agree with the 25 yard setbacks, the side yard setbacks. I think most developers are asking for that, and it makes it a little easier on our job. And that actually came from the township board, and they were very much all in favor of that. But I think they are very respectful of the planning commission, so that's why they wanted to send it back to make sure that the planning commission was on board also. So
Okay.
those are my
Good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Bronco, any comments?
I'm good. I like the idea of 25 feet.
Okay. Ryan?
I'm I'm okay with it too. I guess I actually prefer the 30 feet and let them ask for more, because I'm afraid if we give them 25 feet, they're going to come and ask for 20. But I guess that's how I feel. I could go either way.
Okay. All right. Kurt Radke,
I'm fine with 25. It's okay.
25. Okay. All right. Carl?
Yeah, I actually agree with Ron. I'm not necessarily opposed to the 25, but the situation is we stuck our guns with the 35,000 square feet for R1. And I don't think it has much to do with the orientation of that property, 5 feet. The orientation of a house being put on that lot. I just don't agree with it, but yet on the other hand, I'm willing to, if I don't know, I count up the votes here. I mean, we could make it unanimous, but I just want to say, I just think it doesn't make a hill of beans to me. I think all it is just throwing in a little flavor to the developers, and it doesn't make sense to me. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Thanks, Carl. All right. Well, if someone would like to make a motion on this, it sounds like we're pretty close on agreement.
All right, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion that AP-20-26 be, I guess, moved back to the Board of Trustees based on the information provided by McKenna, with the side setbacks being 25 feet instead of 30. In the R1 district.
I'll support that.
Okay. All right. A motion by Mr. Chuck, support by Ms. Carconi. Any other
How'd you vote
comments?
before me, Ron? So I can see how you voted.
All right. Kelly, let's do roll vote.
All right, sorry, I had to unmute. Patricia Carconi,
Yes.
Michael Conflitti,
Yes.
Bronco Mietzkowski,
Yes.
Jim Chuck,
Yes.
Ron Pennington,
Yes.
Oh,
Kurt Radke,
Yes.
Carl Town.
yes.
Wow.
Atta way,
Unanimous. All right, Carl. Brian, nice.
Only
That's
because
a-
Patty said it made things easier.
It will make things easier.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really will. They can ask, but we don't have to give. I mean, we
Right.
I don't know. I like it came from the board. It wasn't us. It was really them, and they're pretty, stingy with giving anything. So because
Are
they
they?
ask. So I thought it was good.
Yeah, good. No, Ron and Carol made a
Merry
good point,
Christmas,
though.
right?
But yeah. Patty, did you have a report?
I do. Well, I forgot my notes, but I did bring up the agenda.
Mike, before Patty gets going, could
Oh,
I
sure.
just say
Yeah.
something?
Please
This
do.
has to, and we are in the record, but it's, I worked on the new Lion Cantina, right? And then they took
Right.
it off the off our meeting tonight, and
Yep.
and they're coming back because they're tweaking everything. But if you look at that piece of property, and I guess I'm saying this for Brian and everybody else, that there's a wall that should be continued all the way back through there. And I mean, since you're going to look at some of this stuff, plus the parking arrangement on the property that's north of that, I get my hair cut over there for 20 years, and I've never seen a single car parked there. So sometimes I don't know what it is, but maybe I don't know how much we get involved to work out a deal with, the next property owner to help them with parking. Because I'm going to tell you what, they need that parking. Because if they don't get that parking, they're going to be out on, I think it's Lillian Street with those homeowners. And I don't want to see that. But that's all I have to say. It was fresh on my mind, and I know you're going to probably meet with the applicant before he comes back. So thank you. Sorry, Patty.
Oh, that's okay.
Thanks, Carol. Patricia.
Okay. We had kind of a lot on our plate on our December 7th meeting. But we had no old business, so we only had new business. So the first thing was Lion Station PD. Remember, that's the Hutto parcel that went from Rick to Hutto's. He just asked for a 1-year extension, and that was granted. We had a long discussion on the Comfort Care Senior that was on our agenda tonight. And the board denied that in a 5-2 vote. And they cited the same things. They thought the parcel was too small. They were worried about the pond. They thought it should be moved back. Almost everything that you guys already went through. Then we had the special land use for the Culvers. They were very excited about that. They did agree to the wall and some additional plantings, which I know Kurt had suggested, and a couple of others. So they agreed to that. They agreed to everything. The board asked for a few extra little things. So you guys, we did a good job. And they seem very excited. So that passed. And then we had a we recognized a nonprofit. They're trying to do some things in the downtown area. They're like, when you sell raffle tickets, like tickets, there's probably a name, gaming. Mm-hmm. They wanted to do some things to help some of the businesses in the downtown area. So we approved that. We had the Lion Crossing PD. Now that was, I think that was that. And so they approved that 5-2 also. But we did get 12 extra planting trees that Sean wanted. A little more it would be to the south of their lot line. So, because there's still parcels before you hit Grand River. He thought there should be some additional screening there for any houses that are across the street on Grand River, just in case, before a building comes there. And if they do or don't, he wanted that to be protected. So we agreed to that, or they agreed to that. So 12 extra big trees.
Patty, who are the two no's?
Lisa and Robert, but Robert abstained, but Robert can't abstain. You can't. You're put on these boards to vote.
Right.
That is your job. So unless you're getting, unless you abstain because you are financially impacted by that development. And then,
Mhm.
you know how that goes. You get up, you walk away. Well, you really can't. So I think
Okay.
Carol spoke to him. He's new, so I don't think she wanted to embarrass him or anything. And I thought that was good. But you can't. You got to vote.
Mhm.
So we had, let's see, the interlocal agreement between Oakland County and Lyon Township. That was for assessing. We had, what else did we have? Highland Treatment asked for like a couple dollar raise. We gave them, they run our sewer plant and water plant. We had, when we did the township hall, John missed and he apologized for it, but we have the new like key cards, like you guys you have them, right, to get into the hall? Do you or no?
No,
Do you?
no.
Well, probably
I've,
when we get back to normal, if we get key cards that let you in and out of the township hall in certain doors, and well, we didn't even think about it. So the architects met with us to talk about getting the doors all keyed, and we're all sitting there. We're talking about getting and all of a sudden I go, oh my God, we don't have keys anymore. What are we thinking? We don't key doors. We have that swiping thing. So that's not cheap, but it's so good. When we first got it, everybody kind of didn't like it because it was something new to us, and people would forget their badges. And now everybody loves it because it's so much easier. And so that was like $70,000, but it's secure. It's a lot of doors. It's a big addition. It's in the basement. It's everywhere. So that will finish off the whole, and we found out we had to have a phone in the elevator, the one that's going in the basement, and just some other things that whole like security system. So, but the board was really good about that too. And they agreed, and our office likes it because we do feel a lot safer. Because, a lot of times Michelle's there a lot on the weekends. And, when you have the key card, it's nice. It locks. When you walk out, it locks. You don't have to worry. It's a nice system. So we were really happy about that. We had, that was the security system. Then we had an amendment to the general, I can't remember, new section of the general. Lisa, do you remember what that one was? The introduction of the ordinance that amended chapter 46 utilities. I can't remember what that was. I have to look in the board packet what that one was. And we had the 2020 budget amendments. We did that, and mostly it was just a little bit in our legal for Carol, and two things for Carol's office, but we've been sued, lawsuits. So it's not their fault that they went over budget. And we did a lot of stuff with our board of review, like the board, like the Michigan Tax Tribunal, that kind of stuff. So we finally have some money in our coffers to fight some of these assessments. So we did that. That was in our budget amendments. And then we actually had the 2021 budget, which they approved. So it was a busy meeting. It was busy. So that was it.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Brian, we have the master plan coming up.
Yep, you're going to have a busy start to 2021. So as I mentioned, I don't think everybody was on the call yet. The board over the summer approved us to start working on the master plan. So we've been doing a lot of background analysis and getting some of our existing conditions things lined up. And so as quickly as we can in the year, we will get some next steps in front of the Planning Commission. We need you to take some action and give us some guidance on a couple of things. We're not going to get to that the first meeting of January because you've got 4 to 5 applications that are going to be heard that meeting. So you've got a lot of development coming, and work on that master plan will keep you busy in 2021.
Right. Very good. Anyone else? Any
Yeah,
other
I've got
comments?
a question.
Please.
Patty, I know you can't answer it completely, but do you think by the 1st of April we'll be back as long as there's no executive orders? It's supposed to, if this executive order ends, we could go back to holding meetings, but what's the board saying? Are we going to wait until February, March, April? What's your gut feeling on that?
Well, Carol's just preparing another order for John, for the board to allow John to continue as an emergency, as the emergency manager. We had one right when COVID started, and then it seemed that things were going good and the board could make decisions again, and we were meeting regularly. But Carol, that just came through, I think, today, that's going to be on our agenda. So I don't know if she's worried, or they're worried that we might get locked down again, or I know that they want to continue with the virtual meetings right now because a lot of, we're still open to the public, but we feel very blessed. Right away we put up our protective glass, and no one in our office has been sick, and we feel really lucky. So, and we're busy. And Brian, like what Brian said, you guys won't believe what's coming. I mean, it's a lot of development again. And so we're going to be busy. So we're busy collecting taxes right now. Michelle had the election, and we send out a lot of utility billings. So our office is never slow, and we got the construction going on. So we decided as the 3 full-time elected officials that as long as everybody was well and safe, and the people in our office, they like the normalcy of coming to work. Believe it or not, they really like that. It's every day. They know what they're doing. I don't know if it doesn't make them less afraid, or if even they'd be afraid, but I think it's the normalcy. So everybody wanted to stay open. So we said, we stayed open. We welcome the public. We're very cautious. We don't let anybody roam through our office. If there's a person in the building department, then someone can be in the clerks or the treasurer. So we only allow like 3 people in that long area in front of our counters. So the girls do a really good job. So I don't know, Carl. I think we're gonna still go to virtual meetings till maybe some people get vaccinated, or we want to keep everybody safe. We don't really want to shut our doors either. So.
No, I agree to that, and I've been in the building, and I do find it safe. I would just curious.
With Carol having that, I mean, we talked about it because when she extended that, to close to Thanksgiving, and then she extended it again, the governor, a lot of people went back to working from home, but our office is just so busy. It's like, we're not like a normal office. It's just, we're always busy. There's always something going on, and I'm happy about it though. I mean, I don't mind going to work, and the girls don't. And a lot of municipalities don't have the growth we have, and it's just easier for us to service them. We're selling dog license started over again and stuff like that. So I don't know. We're open, full open. So we'll just have to wait to see what happens.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? No one else?
Just
Have a
Merry
motion?
Christmas and
Yes.
a Happy New Year to everyone.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Motion.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Support.
support that. Oh,
Motion
Radke beat me.
and support by Radke. All those in
Sorry, Jim.
It's all right.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? All right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Bye.
In
Night
January.
all.
Brian, we're good?